Stephen St. John.
I am the greatest.
I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious. I want your heart. I want to eat his children.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. The double champ does what the he wants.
All around is watching us, the Mexicans. And I feel proud about represent Mexico. ¡Viva Mexico, cabrones!
Welcome to New Day with SSJ on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
Spartans! What is your profession? Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here? It's time!
New Day with SSJ is presented by Walker Medical Linen Services, locally owned and operated, and HLAC certified to the highest standards. Walker has partnerships with hospitals, surgery centers, and medical clinics in and around the metro area. Walker Medical Linen Services in Kansas City and online at walkermls.com.
The Kansas City Royals.
The 1-0. Yeah, he hits this one hard. Center field with some carry on it. And it goes to the base of the wall. Fielded there. Here comes Soto. Here's Witt. Throw home. It's way offline. Soto is in. Stanton with a double. And the Yankees have a 1-0 lead on a rocket off the bat of Giancarlo. 1-0 New York. Fifth inning. Here it comes. Soto sends this one high, fairly deep to center. It's playable for Isbell. He's under it to make the play. Both the third base runner Volpe and the second base runner Cabrera tag. And the sacrifice fly from Soto makes it 2-0 Yankees. Leadoff hitter Massey on deck. The right-hander to the lefty. Runner goes, slaps one down the left field line. Gonna be close. It's a fair ball off the bottom of the wall. Frazier comes in to score. That's a double for the 9-hole hitter. It's been the most productive position in the Royal lineup. Another hit for the last man in the order, and it's 2-1. Isbell, very good speed at second base. The outfield fairly shallow against Massey. 2-2 on the way. He drives one to Soto in right. He can't get it. He dove and it went to the wall. They have tied it in. Isbell is in, heading to third. Massey, he's in with a triple. It's 2-2, and the gamble from Soto does not pay off. He's gone. He thought about swinging, held up, and it's called strike three. Serpa threw a sinker at 97. Chisholm is gone.
That's filthy.
Here it comes, 3-2, 2 out. Soto off, and he checks his swing. He'll check first, and out is the call on Judge, who was starting to take off his protective gear and walk to first. Strikes out, so it's 3-1. Dangerous pitch. Salvador sets up inside. Bubich delivers. Stanton elevates one deep to left field. This one is high. It is out of here. Weaver. He throws. Pham beats it in the ground. Should be playable. Volpe has it. And the New York Yankees get a 5-out save from Luke Weaver. And an 8th inning go-ahead home run from Giancarlo Stanton. They lead this series 2-1 and know at the very least, there'll be a Game 5 back in New York if necessary.
I guess that's playoff baseball, huh?
Yeah, this is playoff baseball, like you said. You just got to go out there and now figure out what we need to do to win 2 games. And I believe in it. Everyone in this clubhouse, everyone does, and so that's all we got to do. Is just take things one step at a time, learn from today, and move on.
I mean, you got to tip your cap to them. I mean, they're not chasing, they're not expanding, but we also have to do a better job of limiting those for sure.
Once you guys broke through with the 2 runs, did you have the sense that you'd be able to generate more, and why don't you think you did?
Yeah, I thought, we had Bobby coming to the plate there after the Massey triple, and, we're always going to feel good about being in the middle of the order there, but you do have to give them some credit. Their bullpen has pitched extremely well in this series and has been a difference maker for them. So we have to find a way to execute, scratch something across there, take what they give us, and so far we haven't been able to do that against the bullpen.
Good morning, Kansas City. This is New Day with SSJ on Sports Radio 810 WHB. It's Thursday, October 10th, 2024. Stephen St. John alongside producer Jake Gutierrez. Thank you so much for joining us. Today on the show, did Todd confirm? I'll make him confirm.
No, we'll just hammer his phone until he answers.
I texted him when I got home.
Yeah, I saw that.
Todd Lebo, we're going to make him call in at 6:30. We'll blow up his phone.
He was covering the game last night.
Right.
In the clubhouse.
See? Yeah,
Nah.
So I wanted him to call in.
Yeah.
See, you got me?
Makes sense. I get your logic. Logical.
Buster Olney, our baseball insider from ESPN, just after 7 o'clock. Then we'll hit some NFL with Adam Kaplan, our NFL insider. Oh, boy. Gary Dieter and Anthony Sherman in studio. You saw Patrick Mahomes screaming at Gary Dieter on the television broadcast of the game last night as Gary was dressed in Yankee gear and Patrick Mahomes had his Royals jersey on.
Which was awesome, but I almost like the solo shot of Dieter eating a chicken nugget.
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
I didn't see any of it. So all I saw was the clips that people were sending me on X.
Yeah.
And I told you that that remember when people were asking Mahomes if he'd be there in the press conference, he was up in the air, and I told you that a little bird had told me he'd be there for sure with Dieter.
A little bird.
Yeah, and then that little bird was Mahomes. So we had a nice conversation about it after the game on Monday night, and he delivered on his promise of trash talking Dieter, and so it didn't work out in the end. But it was great to see Patrick Mahomes here supporting the Royals. But Dieter and Sherman will be in studio with us in the 8 o'clock hour, and then Jesse Newell from the Kansas City Star covers the Chiefs, but he's also spent some time covering the Royals, so you can talk both. In the 9 o'clock hour, Yankees beat the Royals last night, Game 3, ALDS 3-2. Wildly frustrating game last night again. Frustrating. Frustrating like game 1 was. Man, you hold the Yankees to 4 hits. 4 hits. 3 of them from Stanton. Stanton had 3 hits. Volpe had 1 hit. That's it. You'd have told me that Torres, Soto, Judge, and Wells, the top 4 in the lineup, were going to go over. I'd have felt great. And they were only going to have 4 hits. I'd have felt great. Then if you would have told me, well, they would also have 9 walks, then I would feel bad. Because that is just unacceptable. That's excruciating to watch. And look, again, I was at the game, so I don't know. All I can tell you is what I'm hearing from social media and people texting me. Was Bob Costas, was the broadcast that bad again? I mean, the broadcast was getting crushed on social media, especially Yankees fans and Royals fans were complaining about the lack of replay and the lack of angles on the run, where Bobby Witt Jr. had a chance to throw the runner out at the plate, but had a wild throw, and they kind of missed it.
Yeah, I mean, it does make a whole lot of sense to me why they don't come back to any of that stuff in terms of replays or with the amount of cameras they should have out there for a single broadcast on TBS.
There were people demanding that people be fired. I mean, was it that bad?
It was pretty bad. I think it does get exaggerated a little bit. I mean, Costas, at a certain point in time, you just kind of tune him out. I do, at least.
Well, he was that bad then.
Yeah, I mean, he was. But I wouldn't say it was any worse than the first two games, but he was bad in the first two games. I like Rob Darling. I think he does a good job.
Ron Darling, you like him too?
Did I say Rob?
Yeah.
Ron.
Well,
I think he does a good job, even though I don't know his first name.
So what?
I think it balances out a little bit, but he is bad, but you put up with it. I mean, you don't have a choice. I mean, I listened to a little bit on the radio, to be honest with you, and it's fine. Carl Ravage.
By the way, you can listen.
That's right.
To the game on the radio on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Anyone out there have any issues listening to the game anyplace else, you can listen to a flawless broadcast right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Yeah, I did. I turned on the app and listened to it a little bit. I just like to hear different perspectives, but
all I'm hearing, people couldn't hear the game, people couldn't stand watching the game. Listen to it on Sports Radio 810 WHB, your radio home of the MLB playoffs.
That's right. Tune in tonight.
But look, the atmosphere was great.
I mean, that was the coolest part. I mean, it looked phenomenal. I mean, I had some serious FOMO. I did miss out, but it looked great. It sounded great, and that's kind of why I had the TV broadcast on most time, just so you could hear the crowd.
I mean, I was glad to be there. It was.
It looked awesome.
Felt awesome. Great crowd. I mean, exactly what we expected. I mean, first of all, yes, only 4 hits. Yes, holding the Yankees to 3 runs, but I mean, 9 walks is too much. 9 walks is just too much, and Stanton beat him. But the Royals had their chances.
Can't do it.
The Royals had their chances, man. I mean, you're just waiting for those big hits from the middle of the lineup with the runners on base. We've just been waiting and waiting for something that hasn't happened. I mean, I know they swept the Orioles, but just think how precious runs were in those 2 games. I know they broke out a little bit in game 1, but even game 2, but still, there have been so many opportunities for the Royals middle of the lineup to score runs, to drive in runs, and they haven't been able to do it. And again, last night,
I thought they were going to do it in the 8th, man.
Bottom of the 2nd, Gurriel just missed a home run.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, you talk about how close everything is. Just missed a home run. But still, you got a runner on second with 1 out. What happens? Melendez strikes out. Garcia grounds out. So there you waste an opportunity with a runner in scoring position and 1 out. All right, the next really good opportunity was the bottom of the 5th. And that's when they tied the game, but it could have been better. It could have been more. After Melendez lined out and Garcia grounded out, Frazier, and we talked about Frazier yesterday. He'd had good history. He was 4 for 8 in his career against Schmidt. And so he got on with an infield single, so that gamble paid off putting him in the lineup because he was part of this rally in the 5th. Isbell doubles and Massey triples. And so And then Bobby Witt Jr. walks. Pasquantino's up with a chance, with a big chance right there. Right? Flies out to center. And you're thinking, this is going to be it. This is it. This is the spot. And like you said, after the Yankees took the lead with the Stanton home run in the 8th, okay, here we go. Weaver comes in the game with 1 out. Junior gets a hit. And I just had a terrible look. I don't know. As soon as the ball left the bat, I thought it was a hit from Pasquantino. I was so confused.
Oh yeah.
I go, yeah. And I go, what happened?
It was a great play, but he just got it. Basically,
they had him played perfectly.
Yeah, and he nubbed it off. He did. It sucked because
you're the gear of the game. You don't see everything.
Well,
right.
when you watch it on TV, as soon as it came off the bat, you're like, oh yeah.
That's what I thought.
No, I mean,
but I thought, and I'm looking at Bobby, and he stopped between first and second. Why isn't he running? I go, he caught it. What the hell
had it played perfect. But it did look like he got a little more on that to get it past the infield. He just barely got it on the edge of it.
And so then you get to the spot that everyone's talking about.
Right.
And here's the debate. What's the big debate from last night? Oh, now Lebo with a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for the confirmation, Todd. Here's the big debate. You got Salvi up. You got Bobby Witt Jr. at first base. You got 2 out. You send him? Is he stealing?
I thought he'd be running.
Now, put this into context. Randy Jazirli had a good tweet, a good post last night.
I didn't have a problem with him not running, but I thought they'd be.
He said, it's easy to criticize the Royals for not trying to steal second with Bobby, but Weaver gave up just 1 stolen base in 3 attempts this year, just 13 stolen bases and 9 caught stealing in his career. He was varying his times home well, and Bobby has been very hit and miss this year. I hate it, but I get it. Now, let me tell you how I feel. Hate it. Absolutely hate it. I understand, but man, you got Bobby Witt Jr. You just runs are so hard to come by. You just can't sit back and hope for something to happen. And someone tweeted at me, you can't take the bat out of Salvi's hands. Well, you're not really doing that. You're trying to give him an at-bat with a runner in scoring position, and if Bobby gets thrown out, then Salvi comes up and leads off the next inning, and he's still got a chance to poke one out, if that's what you're looking for. And look, and there's no guarantee that if Bobby steals the base, Salvi still gets a hit. It's just you want to think that in your head, but situations change.
Absolutely.
You never know. You never know. But in that situation with 2 outs, and runs are so precious, runs are so hard to come by, you got Bobby Witt Jr., and I know he's arguably the fastest runner in baseball, but he's not the most efficient base stealer. I get it. But this is the playoffs. The Royals are not a home run hitting team. They're not big boppers. They can't just wait around for one big swing like the Yankees. The Yankees got guys like Soto and Judge and Stanton that are more prolific home run hitters, and they can wait around for a big bomb like they did last night and like Stanton did in the 8th inning when he sent one to I-70. All right? And so I'm like, am I outraged? No. I mean, I understand. Weaver's a very difficult pitcher to steal off of. Bobby Witt Jr. is an erratic base stealer. But in that situation, just in my mind, it's a no-brainer. Salvi's up, 2 outs. Bobby's at first. Go. Go. And then Bobby scores on any kind of hit. And it's a knife in the gut when Salvi then gets a hit without Bobby trying to steal, and you're thinking, oh, if he would have been at second base, he would have scored and tied the game. Who knows what would have happened? But to me, the Royals got to live and die being aggressive to beat the Yankees. That's what they got to do. That's what they got to do. And I'm totally open to the idea that I'm wrong. Okay? They've got phone books of information and analytics that tell them what to do. All I have is my dumb brain. Okay? And I just say sitting there, I mean, okay, come on, Bobby, steal. Bobby, steal. Steal the base. Steal the no, anyone else? Come on. Steal that base. Come on, Bobby. I mean, that's all. I wanted him to steal. I thought he should have stole the base, tried to steal the base. And if he gets thrown out, hey, they didn't just sit on their hands. They went after it. Okay, Salvi leads off the next inning. He's got a chance to hit one out. Because Salvi is one of the guys that could pop one out in the lineup. They didn't steal. Salvi gets a hit, first and third. Game on the line. I was very optimistic with Gurriel up at the plate. Flied out. And that was all she wrote. But it was a good game. Once again, they went toe-to-toe with the Yankees. They lose 3-2. But my God, I mean, like after the game in the parking lot and then listening to the post-game show on Sports Radio 810, I mean, I felt people were acting like the series is over. This thing ain't over.
No.
This thing ain't over. I'll be right back out there tonight at Kauffman Stadium. I hope, 40,000 of my closest friends will be out there with me. And let's see the Royals push this thing to Game 5. And let's see Cole Reagans go to Yankee Stadium. Let's see what happens. This thing ain't over. I'm not waving any white flag, and nor should you be. And the Royals aren't either. They had every opportunity in the world to go out there, win this game tonight, and then Game 5, anything happens. Game 5, Cole Reagans on the mound, anything can happen. All right, this thing ain't over, and so. I know it sucks. That sucked. That sucked. I mean, I was as locked in as I've ever been for a playoff game. I can promise you this. You ask Susan, and I think she was irritated by this.
I believe it.
From introducing the players to the final out of the game, I did not leave my seat. No bathroom, no concessions, no walking around, no nothing. And I believe that may be the only time I've done that in a playoff game in my life. No pee-pee break, no nothing. What are you laughing for? Hey, that harkens back to the days of my mother and father when we'd be at a game, at a Royals game. And I'd be 7 or 8 years old, and my mom, Mijo, you got pee-pee? You gotta go? Damn it, quit talking to him like that, babe. He's 15 years old. Look.
I don't know if it'll make you feel any better, and it probably won't, but Mike Boddicker said he was yelling at the TV for Witt to run, and you are right. He should have gone.
All right.
I don't know if that's a
look,
former ALCS MVP. I don't know.
Okay, but that's I'm not going to get on here and tell you that I know more than the manager, more than anything else. All I can tell you is what I thought and what I wanted. And I sat there, I go, please steal, will you please steal? And he didn't, and then I moved on. But that's what I wanted.
Yeah. And
then I didn't, and then I read all the information and all the reasoning, and it's one of the things. Okay, I get it, I understand, but I don't like it.
Yeah.
I wanted him to steal. That's all. I mean, I'm not gonna, lose my mind over it. But I was very frustrated after that. But like I said, From the time they introduced the players in the field, play introductions, to the third out, I did not leave my seat. And it was a tremendous atmosphere. I loved it. Just frustrating. But they can go back out there and win that game tonight, and love to see a Game 5. It would be tremendous. You know. But God, when Stanton hit that ball, I was like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Knew it was gone right away.
No, it was my ankle, right, you know. Oh.
He crushed it.
Yeah.
They were showing a stat last night. The only person who has a bigger home run, I think per at bat, the only person ever in the history of Major League Baseball in the postseason is Babe Ruth. So, home run per at bat, he is number 2 all time in the postseason. So, he had a great game last night, man.
And
he put that team on his back.
If anyone wants to argue about how the bullpen was used, I'll hear it. I don't feel strongly about anything. For the most part, everyone did their job. You know,
too many.
I can tell you this: I was absolutely stunned, just stunned, because I didn't know who was warming up. I'm sitting there, in like a dummy in my seat, and you know, and when Singer's trotting out to pitch against Judge, I'm like, what in the hell is going on right now? I have never seen anything in my life. What is going on? How long's it been since this man has pitched, and you're just going to roll him out there in this situation? I didn't know how to feel about it.
I have never seen anything in my life.
And he did it. He got him. But I don't know. Like, I was so like baffled and shocked the whole at bat. Like, Singer, do I like this? Is this awesome or is this horrible? Like, I don't know. And it took me the whole at bat to figure out. I didn't figure out how I felt about it until he got him out. I was like, hey, And then when Bubic came in, I was happy. But then when Bubic gave up the home run, I was mad. And then a guy behind me, they should have let Singer in. I was like, should they have? I don't know. Like, I don't know. And then I'd be honest, when Lorenzen came in for the ninth, I hated that. But he got through it. And the other thing I'll say is, look, I'm not gonna. I would rather I'd rather see out in the outfield. I'd rather Renfroe and Tommy Pham be getting these at bats. You know, the MJ Melendez experience is a unique one, and I've had enough of it. But that's fine. That's fine. Left-hander, whatever. I'm not gonna go crazy about that. But what I will go crazy about is, and I don't know how many beers he had. Maybe he had 10. Maybe he had 1. Maybe it's just him. But for the guy, God love him, that kept yelling for Menendez to get a hit, I don't need that. I don't know if he just binge watched Monsters about the Menendez brothers on Netflix.
I know George Menendez,
but there was a guy that I'm pretty sure that was hammered. Come on, Menendez!
No.
I'm like, no. It sounds like you're rooting for the brothers. It does not do this.
No.
Come on, get that L in there. Get that L in there, partner.
Melendez.
And then he went from rooting for Menendez to then halfway through the game, oh, you got a pinch hit from Menendez. I'm like, no. And every time he says that, I'm thinking about the Menendez brothers. I don't want to. I don't want to think about them, but this man is forcing me to think about them because he's demanding that they pinch hit for Menendez. I'm like, I was thinking, boy, if Jake was here, he'd be cackling away at this one.
Yeah.
This guy didn't say much for the rest of the game, really.
That was it. That was his 2 cents.
He was loudly in support of Menendez early in the game, and then after a couple of bats, he went the other way. You got a pinch here from Menendez. I'm like, I don't think you do. If you want to throw up Melendez, we can talk about that, sir.
I think the Menendez brothers are put away.
And in retrospect, I do believe I saw him have a few good ones in there. So, that's fine.
Hey.
He didn't say anything else inflammatory. He just...
Hey, I think it's Rob Darling,
that was it was nice. It broke the tension for me every now and again. Here he goes, guys. Here he goes again. And a couple times, a couple times he did the old, Soto sucks. We're right behind Soto. He's going after Soto.
Why not? At least he got that one right.
Yeah, well. Yeah, I mean he nailed that one.
Yeah.
But he had grown tired of Menendez by the third at bat. So
one of my brother's good buddies, George Menendez.
This guy didn't want him to hit anymore.
Well,
let's take a break. Royals lose, but back at it again tonight.
That's right.
We'll see if this guy gets mad if Menendez is back in the lineup. We'll talk to Todd Levo after this on WHB.
this was your first taste of playoff baseball here in Tennessee. What you think about this crowd and the atmosphere?
Oh, they were fired up. You know, I wish we had been able to keep them on the edge of their seat a little bit more, but I looked up there a couple times and everybody was standing, you know, even in the second inning, third inning. So that was really impressive. I mean, it was loud. You know, when we got the runs going, it was really loud, and that was cool to see.
Oh, yeah, people in my section were standing quite a bit. I mean, look, we were on the edge of our seats for the whole game. That wasn't a problem, Q. Needed a few more runs, but I thought the atmosphere was excellent. Had a blast until the final out. And I'll just say this. Oh, boy, here we go. And I'm going to say this, and we'll leave it alone. You just had double the crowd on Monday night and found a way to handle the parking lot and get people out there in a timely fashion. Fix the parking situation so it doesn't take us an hour to leave. Fix it. And if you're out there and if you went to the game, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We didn't move for half an hour. I saw a couple of parking attendants. They might as well have just been playing swords with their lighted batons. He had one guy had it, you know, in his back pocket, just walking. Another guy was just looking around like, yeah, look at this. look at all those cars. You got to do something with that. Maybe take it out of your back pocket. I don't know. But you just handled Monday Night Football on Monday night. That was chaos. Tweet at me if you agree. Trey Smith, do not laugh at that. Todd Lebo, you covered the game for us. Hello.
Good morning. My trip home wasn't as bad because it was an hour after the game, but there were still quite a few people in the parking lot. I'll say this. There are different people getting people in and out of the parking lot.
Well, they should go get the same people from Monday then.
I don't know.
Fix it.
Actually, where I went through the intersection down southeast of the stadium, I didn't see. It may be the number of police officers out at the outer rims too. You know
what I do? Gate 5. It's no big secret. In Gate 5, out Gate 5.
I left out of Gate 4 because I didn't want to go over to Gate 5 because where I parked this time. Anyway, that's not the story of the game.
It could be. Would you, first of all, I'd love to see this. If you were wearing a Royals uniform and you were the manager, if you were the skip of this team, would you have had Bobby Witt Jr. stealing in the 8th inning?
Well, theoretically, yes, but he has not been super effective at stealing bases recently. He's gotten thrown out a bunch. They were certainly, after the game, Q said, he mentioned that he's 1.1 to the plate or whatever, I mean, they were certainly thinking about it.
He's a tough pitcher to steal off of. There's no doubt about that, but I still send him. Got to be aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, they've been aggressive in a lot of ways all year, and that's kind of the story of the night. The Royals are aggressive at the plate. The Yankees, it was effective baseball last night, but it's boring as hell. I mean, listen, I know that's today's world, right? Walks and a home run, that's how they won the game. I think I would the idea is to win games. But if you made me watch the Yankees walk 8 times a game for 162 games, I may pull my last 2 hairs out.
Wow.
That's 9, buddy. 9.
No, yeah. Well, it was 7 the night before and 9 this time, 8 a game. I don't know. It was, and they're not like, we've seen guys get wild and miss by 2 feet. These guys, their eye is great and it's winning, but it's just like, that's what's wrong with baseball. That is not fun to watch baseball for most people, I don't think. But anyways, they won the game, and it's all on the line tonight. I talked to lots of guys in the clubhouse last night. We've lost 2 games in a row before, and it's this, and it's today, and it's all that. But this is a different ball game than they've played at any point this entire year. They've never had a game like this. So it's going to be wild. It's going to be wild, and we'll see what the pucker factor is all around in this situation. Because this is a different game than they've ever had. It's different than game one of the playoffs. It's different. I know they had some games in the regular season, but they never had an elimination game in the regular season. And it's different than anything they've done. It's all on the line tonight. So it's going to be really wild out there. We'll see how long the leash is for Michael Wacha. I mean, all in all, I thought it was interesting last night. I mean, he left Seth Lugo in there when he was obviously losing it and ended up getting out of that. The fact that they got out of the jam with the bases loaded and one out with Juan Soto and Aaron Judge coming up was borderline miraculous. So I guess he did the right thing there. I mean, how would you have felt about Zerpa coming in that spot? Right? So,
I all these, like, the only time I was shocked was when he brought Singer in.
Yeah, that was interesting. Brady was really interesting talking to after the game.
What did he say?
I mean, he's like, it felt different. He'd never done that before, but he was pretty much prepared for it, but he said, it's what Q say to you. I don't know. He didn't really know what he said to him because it was just, he'd never walked. First of all, do you know Brady Singer's first game as a K? How many fans were there?
11?
Precisely 0.
Oh.
It was a COVID game. They had pumped in noise and like people in the Diamond Club covering the game. You want to talk about a stark contrast from your first game you ever pitched at the K to the game he pitched in last night? Wow. And he has pitched in relief, but he's never walked into a game to face Aaron Judge with 40,000 people there in the playoffs. And he got the job done. I think they got a little fortunate on the check swing call, but he got the job done. But that was everyone up in the press box and probably lots of people on Twitter too were like, boy, this feels like Yordo in 14, putting a square peg in a round hole. They got through it though, but yeah, I thought that, listen, you lose a game to the Yankees 3-2. I think you probably managed okay. I don't think this one lies at the feet of Matt Cotrero. It lies at the feet of the fact that the Yankees got 9 guys on base via walk. They only got 3 hits or 4 hits, right? They didn't 4 hits and 9 walks.
Stanton had 3 of them.
Yeah, Stanton killed him. It's finally 7 years into his career with the Yankees. He finally came through with what they pay him for, But that was a bomb. That's a guy, that pitch was a full ball low from the zone, but he crushed it. So, you credit someone when they hit that home run. It wasn't probably the perfect pitch from Bubic, but that wasn't some middle ball. Stanton, still at his age, can still take it out of any ballpark in the world, and he did that. So now it is time for the Royals to buckle up and see if they can win this game and take this thing back to New York. I fully expect them to be ready to go. The clubhouse was down, but it wasn't. I've been in sadder clubhouses out there this year when things were really struggling for them. I think they were buoyed by the crowd. They were buoyed by how they fought. I mean, once again, but you get Isbell and Massey with big hits. They're still waiting for Bobby and Vinny to come through with the big ones. It looked like Vinny had, right? Bob Costas thought he had. Called it a base hit, correct? But they had him played as perfectly as you can play. I'm almost certain if they didn't have the new rules, the shortstop probably wouldn't have had to move to catch that ball. He would have been that far over on the other side of second base, but he just didn't get enough up to get it out there.
I mean, I'm out there. I thought it was a hit, but I was. That was they had opportunities. At 8th inning was a golden opportunity, and I look, I absolutely understand the reasoning behind not sending Bobby, but I still send him. Maybe I'm the idiot.
You're not an idiot. Well, you're not an idiot. Not an idiot at all. And there were a couple opportunities that they could have done things a little bit different. You never know how it's going to go. I mean, when Salvi got on base at one point, I'm like, they're going to run Blanco for him, right? But there were 2 outs, and you take him out, and Salvi's gone from the game. You know, there's lots of little things that happen in the game. But what they need to do is they need to get a big hit. That's what they need to do. And, you know, I thought Gurriel, from our perspective, I thought he hit a home run.
Oh, it was so close. It was so close to being a home run.
Right? Yeah, I mean, you know, I was like, that's because the ball was carrying funny last night. A couple of times I thought the Yankees got into a couple and they didn't go. But Gurriel got really good contact on that, and I thought that would have, you know, if they'd have gotten a lead, they probably would have felt a little bit different or whatever. But there'll be a lot of fight in this team tonight. They're not gonna roll over. I'm sure of that.
No, I'm with you. It's going to be. I mean, obviously it's going to be high anxiety, but I mean, I feel good about their chances to win this game tonight and send it back to New York for Game 5 with Cole Reagans on the mound, and anything can happen. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. But here's the deal: you can't win 2 games tonight. You got to win 1 game tonight, and they'll put it all on the line because they'll have an off day too. I mean, it'll be whoever needs to pitch. Brady Singer's fine to pitch if he needs him tonight. He threw 6 pitches. I said, "You nice up?" He said, "Nah, I'm good." He'll be ready if called upon to go get another out or throw 2 innings or whatever. You know, so they'll be ready to go. And I thought, you know, the bullpen did a pretty decent job. Really, I mean, the home run was obviously a killer, but there were base runners and there were people on, you know, lots of walks and things, and they didn't. That game really felt like it could have blown up on the Royals with as many base runners as the Yankees had. That felt like it could have been 6, 7, 8 runs or something, and it wasn't. So they showed a lot of fight last night, but they just have to get a big hit. They have to get a big hit and, you know, a home run. I mean, they got to blow a game open or something, get a little relief to them. But they'll be out there fighting tonight, and this is the first time in this series they got to go back-to-back games. You know, I mean, all of those things are there. It'll be great. It'll be absolutely great, and the place will be packed again. And you got to keep that mojo going because these guys have not played in front of anything like that in Kansas City. They said opening day was a sellout. You know, wasn't full like that. There was a pretty good crowd once for a Cardinals game, but a lot of Cardinal fans. You know, that was a legit awesome crowd last night, and it'll be the same way tonight. And see if they can come through. They'll need. I don't know what you thought, Steven. I thought when Lugo, the way he was going, it's early. I'm like, he's throwing strikes.
Right.
They have to swing. This guy's going to throw 6, 7 innings, but then they just started getting fine. And if you look at some of the pitch maps, bring the robots out, right? Maybe there are more strike calls or whatever. But the Yankees know how to work counts, and they really tired him out, I think.
I mean, the other hope is now that Bobby got a walk and got a single, then maybe he snapped out of that slump, and he'll have a big night tonight. Because it's awesome that Isbell and Massey came through, but it's going to be decided tonight by Bobby Witt Jr., Vinny Pasquantino, and Salvi. Someone's got to come through. Vinny has come up in numerous situations. He's so damn close to getting a big hit. He's got to come through tonight. Bobby's got to come through. They got to come through tonight, or the season's going to be over. If somebody comes through in the middle of that order, then they're going back to New York. But they've had multiple opportunities. They got to do it. But people wonder why Todd Lebo covers all the big games, why we bring him on to talk about everything. It's because of tender nuggets of information like he just dropped. You can't win 2 games tonight. So if you're out there and you're thinking, boy, I hope the Royals win 2 tonight, can't happen, won't happen, according to Todd Lebo.
Can't do it.
Right.
I think Salvi said something at the podium the other day. You can't hit a 10-run home run.
No.
Like, you know what? True enough.
That's right.
True enough.
That's exactly
It'd be
right.
nice if someone hit a 10-run home run. It was worth 2 wins tonight, and then they just wouldn't even have to go to New York.
Can't do it.
You back at it tonight?
Can't do it.
Yeah, back at it tonight. You
Where
going
were
back
you?
out there tonight?
Oh yeah, I'll be there. Where were you sitting?
I was actually in the press box.
I was right pretty close to the media overflow.
That's where the Drake was, and Bethany was there.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I should have gone up there. Did you hear? I did not leave my seat from player introductions all the way until the final out. And Susan was irritated. She goes, "Hey, you want to go walk around a little bit and go get?" I go, "Nope."
It's just freaking playoff baseball, girl.
I said, "I'm locked in. I'm locked in on this." She goes, "Really?"
Yeah.
So I'm going to go get a drink. I'm going to walk. I go, okay, I'm not leaving.
You didn't have a tinkle time?
No pee time. No pee break.
Tinkle
Seriously.
before you left, because you knew you were going to be in the parking lot for an hour?
Well, I didn't know I was going to be in the parking lot. Then in the parking lot, I realized it was an awful decision. Okay, then I was stressing all the way to the Northland. Trust me on that one.
Where are you going to be tonight?
Same place.
Okay.
Do I have to say it? No, I'll say it. I don't care. I'm going to be in section 250 again.
I'll come see you tonight.
Are you going to be? Will you?
Yeah.
Susan and I'll be out there.
I'm not going to do it, not during the game, because we're going to be locked in before.
No, I'll plan on. I like to see all the pomp and circumstance before the game.
Those planes were loud, huh?
I love the flyover. I love the national anthem. I love all the player introductions. That gives me goosebumps.
You think?
And let me tell you something. You ain't never seen a lady. Her eyes lit up. She jumped out of her seat when they introduced Eric Hosmer to throw out the first pitch.
Oh boy!
I said, if there's ever a time that my wife is gonna hop over the fence and run on the field, this could be it.
That was a long run.
She goes, he's here, and she looked up. She's pointing at the video board. She's waving at him. She's taking pictures.
Apparently, Hosmer was hanging out with Bluma and Hurricane.
Good.
Yeah, he got picked. Hosmer had a kid too. Nothing your wife likes more than kids and Eric Hosmer. If he just would have had a puppy or a kitten with him, or a hurt bird.
That's right. Anything. Oh, she was so excited. Oh, look, and he's wearing his jersey. Look at him. Oh, he hasn't aged at all. Look, he's still in good shape. He's got to work out he probably works out every day, doesn't he? I don't know. Probably.
It's like Salvy's age. He's not old.
I mean, he probably does a lot of cardio. I don't know, Sue. Well, you interviewed him, does he? I didn't ask him if he works out every day.
How's your core doing, Haas?
Well, she wanted to know last night about his core. I can tell you that. Thank you, Lebo.
All right, boys. I'll see you in a bit.
I'm going to go lay down. Back into this on Sports Radio 810 WHB.